Hello, my name is Sarah Young, and welcome to an exploration of Japan's fascinating and multifaceted culture. This country is a confluence of deep tradition, spectacular beauty, and rapid technological advancement. Journey begins in Tokyo, the national capital and center of political, economic, and cultural life. Amidst this bustling city of over 9 million, we gain our first glimpse of Japanese tranquility and balance with a visit to the gardens of the Imperial Palace. Originally named Edo, Tokyo began to flourish after the establishment of the Tokugawa shogunate in 1603. Trees play a key role in the gardens of Japan. Japanese gardeners have fine-tuned a distinctive set of pruning techniques. Housing over 100,000 objects, the Japanese National Museum also exhibits collections of nesukes, or miniature sculptures invented in the 17th century. The museum's expansive collection includes an overview of Japanese traditional arts, as well as housing over 600 cultural properties. Elsewhere in the city, exhibits of ceramics showcase the Japanese aesthetic of wabi-sabi, or rustic simplicity, understated elegance, and quiet. Leaving the city, we pass Mount Fuji, the highest point in Japan. Built in 1594, Matsumoto Castle is the oldest castle in Japan, and it is designated as a national treasure of the country. Narai, a historical post town established during the Edo period, is situated exactly halfway between the former imperial capital of Kyoto and Tokyo. It is recognized as a cultural asset and maintained by a government grant system. This fresh cedar ball is made in November or December, right after sake is pressed. When the ball turns brown, the sake has aged and it is ready to drink. This museum houses and displays the magnificent floats used in the spring and fall Takayama festivals. Festivals are sponsored by the shrine. It is thought to be the oldest shrine in the city, dating back to the 4th century. The buildings are an unpainted, typical wood architectural design. The The Japanese Alps consist of 3 volcanic ridges. Situated deep in the mountains, Shirakawa, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a village famous for its traditional thatched roof farmhouses, many of which are more than 250 years old. All in a day's journey, we travel through the snow-capped mountains to the Sea of Japan, that sea separating Japan from the Korean peninsula. Kanazawa is considered one of the best places in Japan to learn about the samurai history. The town was not bombed in World War II and remains one of the best preserved castle towns of the Edo period, that period between 603 and 1868. Japanese gardens are traditional designs accompanied by Japanese aesthetics and philosophical ideas. They avoid artificial ornamentation and highlight the natural landscape. Garden architecture is as important as building architecture. Weeding and pruning is essential to the maintenance of the garden, as are the tree suspenders, installed each autumn to protect branches from the crushing weight of winter snows. For over 1,000 years, Kyoto was the imperial capital city. Today, it is a blend of the modern, interspersed with Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines. Legend has it that a god rode a deer into nearby Nara, so the modern deer of Nara enjoy protected status as godly envoys. But this temple is Nara's biggest highlight. The present structure, completed in 752, is the largest wooden building in the world and houses a 50-foot bronze Buddha. The people of Japan respect their surroundings. You won't see any litter or a discarded cup or a cigarette butt anywhere. The streets all smell nice, and the bus drivers even wear white gloves. This temple is actually a 56-acre walled temple complex consisting of 22 sub-temples and a wide variety of Zen gardens of dry landscape design. The unique Japanese architecture includes thick straw mats as floors, the use of sliding and folding screens to partition larger spaces, and the use of verandas and covered walkways to link rooms. Another UNESCO site, this castle further exemplifies the prestige of the shoguns during the Edo period. Currently, it is undergoing a full repair and restoration to its original beauty as a cultural property of Japan. Water, plants, rocks, lanterns, carp, and bridges constitute the frame of the Japanese garden. In Japan, architecturally spectacular train stations aren't just for trains. They're also for malls, supermarkets, huge restaurant areas, and office buildings. There are strong theatrical traditions in Japan. The No theater is a stately form of dance theater in which actors wear wooden masks, and it is known for their stylized gestures. No has been designated as an intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO. Much derived from No theater, the 400-year-old kabuki is performed entirely by male dancers who are major celebrities, wearing extravagant and distinctive costumes and makeup. The traditional art of craft is also very well respected in Japan. Many of the techniques and designs have their roots in rurally made functional items. These items range from woodworking to textiles to paper making, metalworking, and of course the famous Japanese ceramics. In Kyoto, we had the privilege of visiting the home of Kaiwei Kanjiro, a famous Japanese potter and key figure in the Japanese folk art movement, which included Soji Hamada, Shiko Munakata, and Bernard Leach. In addition to the traditional art, modern and contemporary art is also prevalent, as are the over 5 million vending machines throughout the country. Simultaneously, the country maintains its deep traditions. The tea ceremony is a ceremonial and cultural presentation of matcha, the powdered green tea. The ceremony is intended to form a bond demonstrating the spirit of generosity and respect between the host and guest. Japanese cuisine encompasses regional and traditional foods which have developed through the centuries, with an emphasis on seasonal ingredients served in special bowls and plates, including lacquerware and porcelains. This delicious cuisine is appreciated globally for its precision, highly detailed techniques, and unique presentation. Food is an art form in Japan. Using traditional techniques, miso is aged from 3 months to 3 years. Japanese people are one of the most socially and ethnically homogeneous groups in the world. It is a society of social solidarity and conformism. These beautiful and gracious people have one of the highest life expectancies in the world, 4 years longer than that in the United States. Ikebana, the Japanese art of flower arrangement with a focus on harmony, is an insight to the Japanese culture. Throughout the country, there is a feeling of pride of place and an identification with cultural patterns. Taken together, the delicious food, the exquisite art, the generous people, the amazing architecture, the distinct culture, the futuristic cities, and the striking natural landscape makes Japan a marvelous destination.